You want it to look this good, you gotta get down dirty. Pretty shiny. It's gonna look real bad when you send a rod through the side of it. We lost a part, a pretty important part. All right, welcome back.
All right, we're back. Got the motor picked up, ready to get assembled. Didn't come the way we were expecting it. Cam's not in it, but they sized everything up and we got push rods. So let's start putting this thing together so we can paint it and stab it into our Falcon wagon. See if it runs still. Okay, we had this flex plate off for a second time while we were dealing with the cam issues, so I'm just throwing a little fresh RTV on the threads and we'll just re-torque everything down and make sure it's good to go. You know that is a ratchet. Oh yeah. Easy, easy.
She's lubed. So we got pan gassing on, water pump, flipped it over, gonna put in the lifters now. Rods, get the rockers on, and just keep on plugging away.
Okay, all our push rods are in. We're just gonna start putting our rocker assemblies on here. These are already preset. You just tighten them down, torque them down. We just gotta make sure with feeler gauges and rocker geometry, once we tighten it down, we'll double check all of that. Some of these hydraulics, you got a rocker on here with a hydraulic lifter, and you'll actually tighten it down, take the lash out of it, and then take it another half turn or full turn or whatever the recommendation is. These are not like that. We're gonna definitely make sure as we come down with these, the cam's gonna be in different sections, so some of these valves are gonna wanna be open or closed, so we'll just evenly tighten these down so we don't cause any stress on any of the parts. Just a nice, quick, easy way of kind of checking our valve rocker geometry there. You just Sharpie the top of that valve, roll it over, and then that kind of gives you an indication, is your rocker on the center of that valve stem, or is it too far back, too far forward? Ours looks pretty good, so we're gonna leave it alone. Hey, look who showed up.
Yeah, that friend shows up, you know, you guys have done 80% of the work.
You guys are finished, right?
Yeah.
Putting the spark plugs in too early. I'm still turning this baby over. Some compression.
Cover the intake runners so we don't get any dirt or anything like that coming into the intake runners, brand new intake runners, when we're painting the block.
You want it to look this good, you gotta get down dirty. You get your very own pie.
Double H. I mean, mean, it's the best you're gonna get, unfortunately.
If we have like a buffing wheel.
Right. You machine the surface.
Bring it in close, pal.
Bring it on in.
Let's go. People want to see this.
This is what the people came to see.
This is what they want. Did he RTV it? Okay. Whoo.
That's what I ended up doing with my intake.
I know a lot of people do that.
Yep. Trying to clean up the mating surface for the exhaust manifold so we get a good seal on the new gaskets. Keep away from those really, really annoying exhaust leaks.
It's coming together quite nicely with the exception of bolts missing or broke. We need a couple of coolant parts here. Thermostat housing is rough on the old motor, so we're gonna need a new one of those. A couple intake manifold bolts, potentially carburetor studs, carburetor spacer with the bigger distributor. So might be doing a trip to town here shortly. There you go, Shares. Good ride rod out there. In your language up, we're filming.
This is a family channel, Nate.
Okay. So, mapping out the pattern in which these intake manifold bolts are going to get tightened. Making this foolproof.
You're in the wrong garage for that.
Foolproof for us fools.
There you
Ask me
go.
what I'm doing?
No. I'm sure
Nate, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm sure you're just doing nothing.
About to cut my finger off.
You're doing the what? The small hose.
You guys want to know what I'm doing? He frickin' PO'd.
I'm gonna steal another piece of pizza.
Had one on it, that would work. Oh god, that's nasty in there.
We lost a part. A pretty important part.
Oh, you did, right? You grabbed me a piece.
Trash pan over here.
Look what I found.
Oh yeah, that was up there, huh? That's way different than what was on the internet. Way different than the internet.
Hey, I will give you that. This is a lot different. I did not, mine didn't bolt to these two bolts.
Pretty shiny. Look real bad. We sent a rod through the side of it.
Chrome will get you home. I think we're calling that a wrap for the night. Everything's going together pretty good. This motor looks killer. Different valve cover or different air filter, clearing that HEI distributor nice. Valve covers with the intake, everything. It looks great. We're pretty happy with it. So we don't have much left. Just got to hook this motor up. Transmission, start dropping it in. We got engine mounts. We're gonna have to fab up something for the transmission mount, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. So we're on the move, but that's a wrap. New day, new agenda. Wagon's back in the shop. We're ready to put the motor in it. Nate's in the back cleaning up a couple last minute parts that were missing off the motor. Luckily, we've done enough Ford small blocks that we got pieces kind of laying around. So we stole those. So now we're gonna concentrate on getting our new motor mounts under the hood of this thing. We'll have to fab up a transmission cross member, but we'll get the engine and transmission mated back up, drop it back in through the top, and then start picking away at our long laundry list of stuff we gotta change over, crossover, fab up, make work, all that good stuff. Yeah, you know, since he's not here to defend himself, it's definitely his fault.
Yep. Sabotage.
Dakota, you clearly threw away the bolts we needed. Let me see on the top. Got it. Can you hold it? Yeah. Right there. just need it to. Big moment. Oh, you think so, huh? Your battery tray. That's not rated for that.
I'm rated.
That ain't right. No. Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh. That don't seem right, does it? Nope. Okay, I'm in the wrong hole.
Yeah, you're not in here.
That would explain it. Yeah, nice.
Really? Give me a hammer.
Those are brand new.
I need to beat. Ooh, it's a little tight little engine bay. I need to beat this in just a little bit.
I don't know if I like that.
I'm about to use this bracket.
Trying to think if we're gonna run into some issues here. Back. Okay. Okay. We're gonna have to pull your pulley off. Yeah, it's on the doghouse right there. Oh! Got it. Because now we're on your sway bar. Okay, we're close. We just start fighting a couple small issues, which you're gonna have that on these bigger jobs. Tiny little engine bay and these little core support, tower support pieces on like Mustangs and stuff, they unbolt and they come out of here, but these ones don't. So we're just trying to finagle it in a way to where we can slip it in there all in one piece without having to take too much apart. I got mind puzzle. So anyways, I think if we get this dipstick tube out for the transmission, that'll give us a little bit more play because it's catching on there at the moment. All right, now that that's out, should be able to slide her back. So the only other thing is we might be catching on your tie rod, so I'm gonna pick it up. Gosh, it's not gonna go over it, is it? If the tie rod wasn't there, we could drop it past that and we can see if we can get in our engine mounts, and we might not have to scar the firewall up. So,
Gotta lift it out probably inch and a half.
so there's our issue at the moment.
Should have measured that.
Sucker is right there. Oh yeah, we're touching the wall. Hold on. Man, it's that frickin' firewall, bro.
Taking it back out to beat the tunnel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, maybe you're right. So we're dinging his valve covers up a little bit, so we're gonna take those off before we yank it back out of the engine bay. Try to save a little damage. Oh, God! She wasn't ready.
Throw a new condom on that end. Good resting point. Rust removal.
Remember doing this on my car and having to pull it out multiple times. Ouch. Kind of. Oh man, makes you just want to cut the whole thing out, make a whole new one. Dang.
Back out.
Yeah.
Some more. Good.
Third time's the charm.
Get a freaking hole on that thing.
I really feel good about this. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. Jack? Oh bro, okay, stop right there. Don't move. I think that's it. Oh my god. Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, she's coming. I think we're in. I think we're there. She's there. She's in her home. She's in her forever home.
It ain't moving.
What's the deal here? You want a real hammer? Where's a real hammer? I don't know what I did with that real hammer. I found it. Send it. Yep, you're in. Oh, wow. She's small blocked. Boy, what a fight, huh? The trans tunnel's definitely seen better days. All in the name of horsepower. Don't even double check these. I perfect look. I double check them with a hand. Ooh. Oh! What the? Okay, we are in my garage for this piece of the video. The drive line, we're leaving his little tiny rear end in there for now. I'm sure that's gonna change down the road when we probably destroy it or it just can't take the abuse anymore. But for right now, with our timelines and our budgets, we're just gonna stick with that rear end. So I'm gonna take the drive line out of the car, drive line out of the truck. I'm gonna figure out best scenario here, maybe slide a yoke in on one end. It changed the drive line length a little bit because the tail shaft's a little longer on the C4 than it was on that 2-speed Ford-O-Matic. So our lengths are a little different and our U-joints are a little different. So I'm gonna tackle diving into that, do a little cutting, do a little welding, and try to make some sort of hodgepodge driveline work. Okay, we're back over at Nate's. We're down to the little stuff, but it's the little stuff that is time consuming. So we're gonna make a list so we just kind of don't lose track, because we've got transmission mount, shift linkage, throttle linkage, just a bunch of stuff that it's just all gonna be a little time consuming because we gotta make it work or fabricate it or fit it, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna jot it down so we don't lose track, and then kind of help us be productive. We can just cross it off when we finish it and just move on to the next thing and try to double team as much as we can. So what I'm gonna be working on now is I just roughed out a little piece of plate that we're gonna fabricate to his transmission mount and then the old cross member for the Ford 2-speed, but that'll still just allow our C4 to bolt up to the transmission and then bolt up to our little cross member that goes underneath. I did it in one of the cars at home, seems to work fine. Just a quick, dirty, easy way of making everything mount up. So originally I was planning to just take this piece of plate and drill it out and replace it with the transmission mount on the transmission bolts. And then there's a big hole on our cross member, and that's where you can have your bushing. So you still have some sort of rubber bushing and it's not hard mounted. I think I'm gonna change my plan of attack there and actually just cut the ears off this mount and weld this plate onto the mount, because it looks like if I was to use just this plate and bolt it, that I don't think I'd be able to get the clearance from the transmission with that cross member below the tail shaft. So I might need this to lift me up off of that plate just a little bit. Thinking like,
Whoa, that looks nice.
not bad for a couple a vise, or yeah, a vise and a hammer.
Tilt it. Roll it clockwise. A little more.
Right there.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. Don't burn through.
Did it burn through?
No, that looks good. One in each corner, and you're good to go.
Oh my god. First time you mash on the gas, it's just gonna peel it right off the floor. Something's burning. Ouch!
Little ones.
Carpet's lighting up. What's left of it. Rum, 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 rum. Rum. All right, we are back. It has been a minute. We've been away, but we are back in Nate's shop working on his wagon once again. We're planning on having this thing done. We're gonna knock out a ton of work, see if we can get this thing running, driving, maybe even doing some burnouts by the end of the night. We got a long ways to go on it, just a lot of little stuff that we gotta get finished, maybe run to the parts store to pick up odds and ends that we need, but I think we can make it happen. We might even have a couple people coming over to help us out. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, we'll get cracking on this thing, get our brains back onto what it did need and where we need to start back off, and we'll take off right where we left off. Okay, what I'm gonna be working on, first things first, is transmission underneath the car. Let's see if it's shifting correctly, because I know we were having an issue with it only going into a couple of gears. So we'll work on that. Probably going to pull the mufflers out of the way so we get a little bit more room. And transmission mount. We're about a quarter of the way there on the transmission mount. Started to piece it together, so we'll pull that out, get that finished up, get that all buttoned.
Kind of appears like his kick-down lever broke off inside of there and was jamming our gears up. Now that we got the piece out, it's freed it up. Might just run it.
All right, transmission mount's just about all finished up, so I'm gonna start working on the shift linkage rod. We're just gonna make something out of 3/8 rod ourselves and see if we can get the gears a turning from the collar.
Well, Shay's working on the transmission. I got coolant hoses, her belt, button her up, getting her done.
All right, things are cruising right along. One issue we need to resolve is the alternator on this style of engine puts it too close to the battery tray on the passenger side. So to fix that, we're just gonna take the battery tray, relocate it over here on the driver's side. There's plenty of room, no power steering pump or anything in the way. So we'll put it over there, put a longer positive cable, go along the core support, back over, so we don't really have to move a lot of our wiring. We just gotta do a new ground strap, new positive cable, and then that'll gain us the room that we need for our alternator to fit on that passenger side with the bigger engine.
So one day I pushed the car out of the barn and the bungee cord broke. Exhaust was dragging in the rocks. So you got to do the dirty work, get it out of there.
Hey, I think we got it all.
New day, hopefully the last day before we hear this thing run. Nate's over there buttoning up some pieces on the radio that we needed for the cooler lines. He's already got the hoses all tackled. We've got the transmission mounted. So we're just gonna focus today on tacking up some sort of exhaust. So we've got an exhaust on it, a little bit of wiring with the distributor and his electric choke that we gotta get taken care of. And then we're there. We're about ready to fire this thing over. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't run into any more speed bumps and we should hear this thing. Okay, exhaust is sorted together onto there. We're gonna move on to getting his distributor wired up, electric choke, and then we got an oil pressure gauge. We'd like to hook that up just to make sure we can know that we have good oil pressure while that thing's running. So, moving on to that part. When you have an engine that you want performing at its best, then it deserves the best. Okay, we're getting real close to doing a little test fire on this car. So we're gonna throw a little gas down the throat of it. I think Nate's gonna crank on it. We'll see if we get anything out of it. Shut her off. I think the timing's out. She fired, but she's pushing air through. So I'm gonna run back through and check our timing again. Did it roll back on you like that?
I don't know what.
You got any fuel in the gas tank?
Yeah.
It has fuel in the gas tank? So I pulled that hose off and none came out.
Really?
Yeah, but that could be because of the... Let's try it again. Okay. Okay, our power wire to our coil we found out was wired incorrectly, so with starter getting engaged, it was losing its power. So I think we got that fixed now. So we're gonna hook our wires back up, our starter up, all that good stuff. Give it another test run.
Go ahead, wire, yell at me.
Okay, try her out. Woo! Scared me. Okay, try it again. Okay, yep. I'm gonna try to fill these. Okay, hold on one sec. Okay, try it again. Okay. Okay, good deal. She's firing, she's running. We got a few things left to button up on it, and then we've got a cam to break in on this too. So we got to put it through a whole lot of tests and procedures, but she's in there and she's running. I think the next time you'll be seeing this old girl, she'll have some seats in her, she'll be back on 4 tires, and she'll be running and driving and doing burnouts. Maybe, but she'll be cruising. Okay, so you guys might remember in episode 1 of the wagon that we pulled the engine out of that Ford and then discovered a freeze plug missing behind the starter. Well, our pipe dream of just forgetting about it might have bit us. During the break-in, we had some coolant in the oil. Seemed like we had a little bit of crankcase pressure. We might have resolved that with a PCV valve. So what we're gonna do is see if some of that quick fix stuff will work in our favor. We're gonna run it through the block, see if that cures potentially a crack in the block that might be in there, and run it. But we're gonna do a little bit of experimenting. So we're gonna try to follow this step by step, get it perfect, and hopefully save us from having to pull this motor at least this summer. And now we wait. Only time will tell.